Hi, everybody. So, I had something really incredible happen to me in the real estate business last weekend. And I've done this for over 38 years. And so, there aren't many times that something as incredible as this happens that regularly. And this never has happened to me before. So, we did an open house on a property that we listed, and we did some special things to cue it up and tee it up. And the open house was from 3 to 5 on a Sunday. It's summer, it's hot, there's a lot of competition for time. Kids are out of school, so I don't expect them to be particularly busy in the summer. At least that's been my experience, especially in upstate New York. But by the time we shut the doors at 5 o'clock, there were over 93 people that had shaken my hand. I have to think back how that happened because we're doing open houses all the time in this team. And we're getting, sometimes 2, 3, 4 parties, but, and sometimes maybe up to a dozen, but 93 people? That's not normal. So I think about some of the things that we did. And at a super high level, it's real simple. Your job to get that many people there and that much interest is to make it as attractive to as many people as possible. The presentation of the listing, from the photography, the staging, and there's a bunch of little things that we do behind the scenes, almost like getting ready for a Broadway show. Like there's a ton of stuff that has to happen behind the scenes before you see the performance and the curtain opens. So that was like, I have a theatrical background, by the way, so I'm using theater as an analogy. By the time that Broadway show opens, the curtain opens, and the show goes on for a couple hours, you're seeing months, if not a year, of lots of people doing lots of things to make the magic happen. So that's kind of the analogy to this open house. Lots of things happened to get us to that 3 o'clock on that Sunday where there was a line at the door to get in. And this was not an inexpensive property. And so by the time it was done and we had gotten everyone to sign in, I was exhausted. Like, I feel like I'd just done a Broadway play. And after that happened, we collected offers, and we let everyone make their offers whatever time period they wanted to, so that everybody had a fair chance at it. It was a great property, and obviously in high demand, and things that we did created the highest demand. And so we solicited probably 10 bids or so, and there was this competition to get this property. And for good reason. It was a very nice property, and the law of supply and demand takes over where we're in a particular segment of the market where there's not as much stuff for sale, but there's a large audience of people that would like to buy something like that. So the end result was we had offers that ended up bidding against each other to a sale price of $150,000 more than it was listed for. And none of us predicted that would happen. Not the seller, not myself, no real estate agent. They were close, but not to this degree. So there was some magic that happened. In particular, not setting a deadline, making sure you had the largest reach and the largest online presence, and making sure everybody had a chance to see it, giving some leeway time. Because what happens when you list a property is if it's a good property and people want it, you're going to get offers right away, and the seller's going to be happy and they're going to choose an offer because it's going to be acceptable to them. But if you want to be able to score the highest percentage of a price to the listing price, you need to go through a process where you have everybody exposed to the property. Let everybody see it. Let everyone have a chance. Those that are on vacation, those that her agents are out of town, or they're at a family party and they missed the listing, make sure there's enough time and enough infiltration on enough websites that everybody gets to see the property before you accept the final bid. And then there's some more magic. Once you have the best offers in, many people don't realize that when people say, "This is my final and best offer," it may not be. Because you may have heard of this kind of situation where you'll have signed a deal, everyone said they made the best offer, and then all of a sudden you get a call from someone that says, "Well, my clients want to pay more. They want to submit another offer." Well, the deadline was yesterday. But if I'm representing the seller, I don't really care about a deadline if it's putting my seller at risk of leaving money on the table. And if you're a home seller, you don't want to do that. You want to have your agent get you the best opportunity. So just understand that there are many situations where people say they're giving their best and they really aren't. So there's a process that we discovered to allow that to happen afterwards. So anyway, it's an interesting market. There is much more houses coming up for sale right now, and these situations aren't as common, but even in a market that's changing, if you do the right things, this can happen. So I'd love to talk to you more about this. If you have a very nice property that you would like to make a big score on because it's your life investment, I'd like to talk to you how this works.